January 20th, 2021, if you are president, what specifically would you do with the thousands of people who try to reach the United States every day and want a better life through asylum?
Immediately on January 20th of 2021, I will, first of all, we cannot forget our DACA recipients, and so I'm going to start there. I will immediately, by executive action, reinstate DACA status and DACA protection to those young people. I will further extend protection for deferral of deportation for their parents and for veterans, who we have so many who are undocumented and have served our country and fought for our democracy. I will also immediately put in place a meaningful process for reviewing the cases for asylum. I will release children from cages. I will get rid of the private detention centers. And I will ensure that this microphone that the President of the United States holds in her hand is used in a way that is about reflecting the values of
Peace, love, and reparations. What's going on, family? Come in and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that share button. I want to give a shout out to CyberDon100. Shout out to you for the Cash App. I appreciate you, family, and everybody else that hit the Cash App. Can't remember the other ones, but I'm sorry for that. But I definitely appreciate you because it was well needed. I also need y'all to go to Facebook and follow the Center for Survivors of Child Sex Abuse, Inc. That's the new nonprofit page. I need y'all to follow that. And shout out to everybody who's been supporting me, man. Hit me with the phone calls, the emails, the text messages. You know what I'm saying? Giving the brother some mental support. It's definitely needed because I get a lot of backlash. Well, I'm going to say we get a lot of backlash because it's not just me, but, you know, but we definitely appreciate y'all, man. But, yeah, let's get into this now. Man, these Democrats are something else. I promise you they are, and we're not going for this at all because we know that Kamala Harris's famous clip, she talks about what she's not going to specifically do for Black people, right? And I know they're going to say, oh, this is a state thing. This don't got anything to do with federal, and she controls all the federal stuff. But federal grants come down, you know, to the state to give funding. Now, California Democrats plan to give illegal immigrants taxpayer funds to purchase homes. Now, the CHIRLA, the bill sponsors received $34 million. Now, they got more than $34 million, family, because we're gonna go down a little bit. Now, it says the Coalition for Humane Immigrants' Rights, right, lists that received $33 million in grants and plus an extra $10 million, and it says all other contribution gifts and grants and similar amounts are not included above, but for a grand total of $44 million. These are for illegal immigrants, family. This is for illegal immigrants, and they're getting this based off their immigration status, right? But look at what they do for us. So far for the California reparations budget, we get a whopping $12 million. From the Freedmen, the people who built the country from scratch and had the worst things happen to us for hundreds of years, centuries, we get $12 million. But these illegal immigrants who just came over the border, just walked over here, they get good God for Zion. They get $44 million. This is crazy. This is why we can't vote for those Democrats. And if you are Black and you voting for the Democrats, you have to be out your mind. Because if you don't see the finesse, I feel like you just don't want to see it at this point, right? Because it's so obvious. Now, I'm going to show y'all something else. And before I show it to you, though, I'm going to play her video, right? The infamous video of Kamala Harris. Because what we're not going to do, we're not going for that. You saying that you're not going to do anything specifically for us, but then you turn around and do things specifically for illegal immigrants. That's why I played that first clip first, because she's talking about, a couple years ago, she was talking about exactly what she was going to do for immigrants if they got in office, right? So now she's running for president, and this is a whole nother thing, right? Watch this. How is she running around promising what she's going to do if she becomes president like you can't do it now? She was talking about making the rich pay taxes. I'm like, yo, that's the same thing Biden said when y'all both was running. So he didn't do it, but you're going to do it. These people be so full of crap, it's not even funny. But listen to this video, family.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
Now, the infamous one where she says she's not going to do anything that specifically addresses us, but you did stuff that specifically address illegal immigrants. And y'all try to say undocumented, but that's illegal. Now, this is coming from whitehouse.gov, and Vice President Harris announces new efforts to expand capital access and contracting opportunities for minority-owned and underserved businesses at the Freedmen's Bank. Now, we all know that the Freedmen's Bank was used for us, foundational Black American freedmen, from what happened during slavery and all the benefits that we didn't get, all the working for free, and you robbed the bank. Now you're trying to do stuff for underserved communities, which again, if you're new to the channel, we don't go by that. We don't go by minority. We don't use the African American. We're not using none of that. That was specifically used to finesse us. So we out of that car. But listen to this, family. It says to bridge the financial disparities that hold so many of our communities back, we must continue to work together to combine the capacity of the private sector with the reach and the scale that only the government can provide. When we do, we create opportunity and prosperity for millions of Americans. No, you just tried to dilute our Freedmen's Bureau to address underserved communities and minority-owned businesses. No. And this is why I say you have to be an absolute fool to vote for Kamala Harris as they sit here and do all this for these illegal immigrants while you sit here and undermine us. Now, you did that, and this was Kamala Harris who did it. That's why her name is straight on that. She undermined it, the Freedmen's Bureau, and trying to get these type of people right here, these illegal immigrants whose country is shit. Let's be for real. All y'all countries are shit. That's why y'all leave. This ain't even trying to throw a shot at you, or if it is what it is. But y'all leave y'all country to come over here because you can't make it over there. Y'all can't stick together over there and build your own country up. And you can say, "Oh, our country is good. Our country." No, it ain't. No, it ain't. We don't go live in Beverly Hills and then move back to Baltimore, nigga. You feel me? Listen, we don't go to Beverly Hills and then move back to Southeast DC. Nah, that's going backwards. You feel me? So y'all coming over here to get free opportunity. All that you working hard and all of that, man, listen, nobody's trying to hear that. You ain't pulling yourself up from your bootstraps. And this is why I say when people are like, oh man, y'all keep asking and y'all begging. Nah, we ain't begging for nothing. We are demanding what's ours. We are tax-paying citizens, and we got to give our taxes to these people right here, the Native Americans and everybody else, while we just sit here and y'all do undermining stuff like this. You do undermining stuff to dilute us so that we become a permanent underclass. And Vice President Harris knows exactly what she's doing. You feel me? I feel like this is the Indian side of her. Because you know Indians don't like us. They're some of the most hateful ones toward us. Dead serious, besides white people. They probably run a neck and neck. They are some of the ignorantest people on the planet, yo. I was just talking to my peoples about that. Like, yo, go into somebody, listen, go into an Indian store and watch how they treat you. And they'll be blacker than you. But yeah, listen, we're not going for it. We're not going for the cosplay with Kamala Harris, all this. Oh, she's black. She's black. But you know what is funny? She's Jamaican and Indian, right? And the Jamaican is even questionable because we don't believe that her dad was even identifying as Jamaican, right? Why do they try to, shame us into supporting a black woman, quote unquote, but they don't shame Indian men for not supporting an Indian woman? Because that's how she grew up. She grew up in an Indian household in Indian culture, right? So that's what listen. When she said that she had to make greens for a bunch of people and she did it in the tub, listen, I was done. I was like, that's definitely the Indian side of her. No black person on this planet about to put some greens in the tub. And if anybody black knew that you did that, they would be whooping your ass at any cookout or family reunion. Yeah, I had to cook those in the tub. They could be like, yo, spitting it all out their mouth, going right upside your head. Nigga, you just cook that in the tub where you wash your ass? And you gonna serve it to me? Listen, those would be the last greens you ever make. Real talk, man. Listen, man, we not going for the finesse no more, family. And at the end of the day, we have to stick to status, right? We have to always talk about freedmen, foundational Black American, but mostly freedmen when we're talking about political and trying to get bills and policies done for us, because it has to be status based. Can't be race based or it's going to get thrown out, right? So everything has to be status based. And again, foundational Black American, usually when somebody asks me, like if somebody was to ask me like, yo, what are you? Like, are you African American? I'll be like, nah, I'm foundational Black American, right? I barely say freedman, right? But when it comes to being in the political sphere, we have to use freedman because that's a status that's already established, right? That's why we have the Freedmen Bank. And the Freedmen Bureau came about in March 3rd, 1863. So now, which was created strictly for us, and now they're trying to push all this minority stuff in it because they know when they use the word minority, disenfranchised group, people of color, that's when we get finessed. Underserved communities, that's when we get finessed, and resources start going out to everybody but us. We start getting a little trickle of it. So from now on, family, we always have to go out here demanding tangibles under status, under freedmen, under the status. And again, listen, I don't want to hold y'all up because again, I'm so busy, but I'm gonna jump on camera for like 2 seconds. What's going on with y'all, man? Listen, again, I want to reiterate that I appreciate all the love from everybody. I swear to God, bro, my blood pressure been up so bad because listen, when you bringing the hammer down on people and organizations and stuff, that people religious organizations and things like that, where people take it so serious, you know, it can get stressful and people can, you know, get crazy, man. A lot of these people out here, again, that I'm dealing with is dealing with Stockholm syndrome. So, you know, when you try to put the hammer down on people, on predators, you know, you start getting people that was abused by those predators that will get mad that you even coming forward saying stuff about it. But at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody that's showing me love. Please hit that Cash App. Listen, I got a lot of legal stuff going on, and it's very well needed at the end of the day. And I appreciate all of y'all for subscribing to the channel and being subscribed and, you know, checking me out, man. Peace, love, and reparations. We up out of here, family. I'm going to end y'all off with the brother, Dr. Claude Anderson.
Is not a nicety. It's not something nice to have for black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated black folk getting into this dilemma? And what black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.